Hi guys and welcome back, it's Sparkie here and we are looking at another news night. I was going to say something different there, but it came out different. Hi guys and welcome to another episode of the Nexus news, I guess. That's what we're going to call it nowadays. Woo! With me Sparkie, and today we are looking at housing and anything about housing. So first up we have a big change coming to the decor limit. This is a massive change, this one. At the moment the decor limit is 200 or 300. One of them numbers, I think it's 300. It's the 300 limit, and it's being improved or increased to 2,000. 2,000. That's more than double. That's more than triple. That's a crazy amount. Which this 2,000 is 1,000 outside and 1,000 inside. It's massive. That's a massive improvement. Well, not improvement, just an increase. I mean, I guess it's an improvement because you'll be able to have more in your stuff. But wow, that's amazing. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what houses people will be building from now on, really, because that's a mega limit. That's a mega increase. And furthermore, all these changes that are on your list, all these next few changes are all on the PTR at the moment, so you can test these out and check for yourselves. But lights currently can't be switched on and off. Well, in the PTR they can. So lights will be switched on and off soon, and also their limit's being increased. It's going to be 40 inside and 40 outside, up from 20. So another massive change, another big change, and 20 was a lot. Well, a fair few. But 40, wow, that's a big increase. I mean, I know when I've built stuff and I've gone, I'm getting close, but I've never really worried that much. I just know I'm getting close to the limit. But doubling it, wow. I mean, that's just mega freedom right there. And lastly, one final change for the housing, which is on the PTR. This isn't the final change, final change. It's just on the final change that's on the PTR. And that is that the music can now be changed. I presume it will be changed to, like, you can change it from the housing tune at the moment to, say, Ilium, or you can change it to Algorok. That sort of music change, which is a good change because it gets very repetitive after a while. It's awesome. I'm not saying the music's bad in any way when I say that. It's just, it does get a bit repetitive after a while. The same tune in every single person's plot, playing over and over and over and over. Doesn't matter how good the song is, you can only listen to it so many times. So they're all the changes that are coming on the PTR, so they will hit first, as it were. They are going to be adding new permissions for the garden fab kits, so that only you, the owner of the plot, can harvest the resource, but then you can still let other people harvest your mining fab kits or your survival fab kits. Thickets, I think it's called, thickets, not survival. So, you know, that's a very good thing, because it was annoying, I guess. To be honest, I've never really used the garden fab kit because I've been a medic or an engineer, so I haven't really needed the materials that you get from it, and I can never be bothered to sell them. So yeah, I mean, it's good for the fact that you can now have your own garden and you worry about it and don't let someone else mine it, because then they don't. Otherwise, they can come along and take 50% of the resource, which is a bit annoying for a garden fab kit. So yeah, that's a good change. Obviously it's not going to affect me in any way, shape or form, but other people, I reckon it will definitely help for the rest of the things they're adding. They're looking into add new shapes, for building blocks, such as triangles, to help create more interesting buildings. I can see this being quite useful because at the moment it's all very 90 degrees or angular, as it were, because you've got just those walls to use. And you have to keep hiding stuff with other stuff, or kind of mesh, what I would call as kit bashing. That's what we're using in the games world, where you're just pushing objects together to form an overall bigger object. That's called kit bashing. So yeah, this is definitely a good thing. It could be quite cool because then you can have other sort of interesting shapes as well in your plots. Like you can, these people who are building massive jumping puzzles, that could be quite cool because now you can have slopes. Well, you could have slopes before, but you'd have just like a random plank just at an angle. Now you can actually have a building block that is a triangle. It just looks a little bit nicer. Then there is the ability, this is a big one, it's the ability to change the environment on the plot. Now what that means is you'll be able to change it from the grass that it is at the moment to say a snowy grass like you see in Whitevale, or the desert. So that's a pretty awesome change. And then on top of that, you also have the ability to turn the grass on and off, and whether it's flat or bumpy, because at the moment it's all bumpy, and so people are having, well, I've personally had problems with it as well, where say you're trying to play something at a certain height, but in one point it's lower down, then it doesn't. If you go to the maximum limit's different at different points because of the level of the terrain. If you try it out, you'll instantly know what I'm on about. It's quite hard to explain without actually visually showing you. Which I will definitely make a video on soon. I've definitely got a good idea for something to build. Because of Halloween coming up, there is no better time than to build a Halloween plot. Is that a spoiler? It could be a technical spoiler. Expect a Halloween surprise. And so there's other changes coming to this housing plot. There is the guild neighbourhoods that people have been asking for. This will be added later. The one before it, the one being added sooner, is the friendless neighbours. What this will be, and I think this is a good change because it always annoyed me when I first got into housing and I was friends with someone on my friend list. I looked at the plots expecting them to be there, and it wasn't. It was just some granite house. But now, well not now, but when they add it, you'll have your friends' houses in the distance, and that's amazing. If they actually do that, that'd be really nice. It would just add so much more appeal to it. I mean, if they go a step further, it'd be amazing if they go a step further and you can just walk to your neighbours. So you actually end up with like a neighbourhood. But I can't see that happening. I think that's a bit more technical, but yeah, that would be amazing if they did that. I mean, I'm happy enough just to see someone in the distance, but if you could actually just walk to their plot, ooh, that'd be amazing. That would. So, lastly, there is it's quite a short. It was actually quite a short Nexus report this week. So yeah, the last two things are that they're allowing people to flip fab kits, or at least they're looking into doing it. They're having to change a few things and how things work, is what they said. They couldn't give us too many details because again this was something in the pipeline and it wasn't on the PTR. But they are adding the plan, or the ability, to allow people to flip the fab. They are allowing people to flip the fab kits. Like, so you can rotate them and things, which is awesome. You know, that's a handy, nice little change because you did end up with sort of weird plots at times. And then finally, the final bit of news is they will be adding glass and curved walls eventually. They've got to get hold, they've seen the assets somewhere, but they've just got to get hold of them and add them into the housing system, and voila, you have glass and curved walls. So yes, they will be adding those soon. I'm not sure how short a term soon is, but soon. And that was it really for the Nexus report. I hope you guys are doing well, and apologies for not releasing a PvP video on Monday. I couldn't get into a PvP match, but I've now recorded 5 of them in one go. I managed for some reason, weirdly enough, now that the Arcade has been released, people are coming back. Odd that. So, and my queues are coming right down. So yeah, with a bit of luck, I'll be able to keep going. I've recorded 5 as a backup. I think one of them's a loss, the rest are wins. And I've just got to flick through them to give you guys the best one. I'll put one in the background for this video. It probably might not be the best PvP video I've got. It probably won't be long enough actually, because this is 12 minutes recording. I may have to do something about that. But anyways, I hope you guys are having fun. And as always, stay frosty. I've been Sparky. I'll catch you all later. Bye!